my time was God the whole day. I'm gonna go to the Museum of the Bible. Yeah.
Where's that? The museum?
Yeah.
I go to the museum.
I didn't take no bookings. I didn't take anything on that day.
Tell us I go to the museum.
That day I will be celebrating with Jesus Christ.
You got a nice one here.
I haven't celebrated my birthday in like 3 years though.
The internet didn't just wake up today, it detonated. Screens cracked, group chats exploded, and timelines burst into flames the second the news hit. Chrisean Rock has officially drawn the line on Junior, and Ronny Doe's Auntie has entered the chat like a WWE chair-swinging legend ready to clock Blueface with a verbal knockout. Social media went into cardiac arrest instantly, with fans screaming, haters celebrating, and bystanders refreshing their feeds like they were watching the Super Bowl. A Zeus brawl and a courtroom meltdown all at once. Nothing about this storyline was soft, calm, or sensible. It was chaos marinated in gasoline. What pushed the internet into a full meltdown was the tone. Chrisean didn't speak in riddles, hints, or soft girl vibe captions. She spoke with boundaries sharper than a diamond cutting blade. Meanwhile, Ronny Doe's Auntie wasn't just responding, she was dragging, lecturing, exposing, and swinging her words like she had years of built-up frustration ready to unleash on Blueface's entire existence. Fans described it as the most unexpected tag team moment in motherly history, and honestly, they weren't wrong. It felt like watching two realities collide midair, and then the contradictions started flying. Blueface's responses didn't match Chrisean's tone. Chrisean's boundary setting didn't match Blueface's energy. Ronny Doe's Auntie's shading didn't match anyone's narrative. It turned into a three-way digital showdown where no one was reading from the same script. Yet every line hit harder than the last. The internet couldn't look away even if it tried. But the real gag. A new message surfaced moments after Auntie's rant, a message from someone nobody expected. With information that could flip the entire drama inside out. The chaos didn't start with Chrisean Rock drawing the line on Junior. That was simply the explosion. The real ignition happened weeks earlier, bubbling quietly through cryptic posts, shady subtweets, and whispers from people close to the situation who conveniently left out every important detail. Fans noticed Chrisean growing distant, setting new boundaries, and making moves that didn't match the narrative the internet kept trying to force onto her. Meanwhile, Blueface stayed publicly messy, publicly loud, and publicly convinced he controlled the storyline. But the tension hit its boiling point the moment Ronny Doe's Auntie decided she'd had enough of watching things unfold from the sidelines. The buildup began when a leaked audio clip surfaced, a short, static-laced moment featuring voices arguing about responsibility, loyalty, and who was doing what for Junior behind the scenes. No names were said, but the emotions were unmistakably real. Fans dissected the clip like a crime lab team, isolating background noise, matching tones, and turning into overnight detectives determined to map the conflict. Some believed it was Chrisean standing firm. Others were convinced it was Blueface dodging accountability. A few thought Ronny Doe's family was in the mix. The theories stacked so fast the timeline became a wall of chaos. Then came the first suspicious screenshot, a text conversation allegedly between two extended family members venting about someone being ungrateful and playing victim online. The messages hinted at a deeper rift, one involving expectations, broken promises, and emotional exhaustion. Fans used the screenshot like a magnifying glass over every public interaction between the families. They found tension in places tension probably didn't exist. They found shade in emojis. They found meaning in punctuation marks. Suddenly, everyone had a degree in digital psychology and family dynamics. But the real turning point happened when Chrisean posted a short, calm voice clip explaining she was choosing peace, boundaries, and protecting her space. No yelling, no dramatics, no subliminals, just directness. And that directness caught the internet completely off guard. People expected chaos from her, not clarity. Her statement shook the foundation because it didn't attack anyone. It simply drew a line that said she wasn't obligated to pour into situations draining her spirit. A line that quietly but powerfully shifted blame away from where the internet had been throwing it. Fans flooded her comments with support, but of course, trolls crawled out too. And as always, Blueface entered the arena with his signature response style, messy, confusing, contradicting, and clearly meant to spark reactions rather than solve anything. His posts didn't align with her tone at all. Where she was calm, he was chaotic. Where she was firm, he was petty. Where she was finished, he was stirring the pot like a chef with a grudge. And that mismatch sparked a storm, right when the internet was choosing sides like it was a championship fight. Ronny Doe's Auntie burst into the scene with the kind of energy you usually only see when someone is seconds away from flipping a table on national television. She didn't speak in riddles. She didn't hedge her words. She didn't tiptoe. She dragged. She called out Blueface's behavior, the selective accountability, the constant public mess, and the way Junior was being used like a pawn in every online feud. Her tone carried the weight of someone who had witnessed enough, held back enough, and was done playing polite. Her rant hit the internet like a meteor, creating craters in every corner of social media. People were cheering, gasping, recording reaction videos, and hashtagging their shock as if they were live audience members at a Zeus reunion. Some fans praised her for saying what needed to be said. Others said she escalated things too far. But one thing everyone agreed on, she shook the room. This wasn't light shade. This was tactical warfare delivered in full anti-authority. As Auntie's video circulated, different relatives from each side began reacting in subtle ways. A cousin liked a shady comment. A sister posted a cryptic emoji. An uncle reshared a meme that definitely wasn't neutral. The quiet online movement suggested a bigger behind-the-scenes conversation happening, one full of tension, confusion, and unresolved resentment. Social media made it 10 times louder, 10 times harder, and 10 times messier, especially when blogs began reporting these micro-interactions as breaking news, and then the leaks began. A DM screenshot from someone claiming to be a close friend dropped out of nowhere, suggesting this wasn't the first time Blueface had tried shifting blame. Another leak suggested Chrisean had been privately supporting Junior in ways the public had no idea about. A third leak painted Ronny Doe's family as fed up with being misrepresented. Each leak contradicted the last. Each leak added to the confusion. Each leak twisted the narrative into knots so tangled nobody could keep track of the truth anymore. By the time fans tried piecing together a linear storyline, the situation had evolved into a full saga with factions, alliances, betrayals, and emotional crossfire. Everyone had receipts. Everyone had opinions. No one had the full story. And because the contradictions kept growing, the rising tension only intensified. It felt like the prelude to something bigger, something explosive, something that would rewrite the entire saga once the right voice stepped forward, and just when fans thought the drama couldn't escalate further. Someone from Blueface's side made a move that shocked everyone. A move so unexpected, so bold, and so chaotic it instantly flipped the power dynamic. Because suddenly, Chrisean's boundary, Auntie's rant, and all the leaks were just the appetizer. The real storm was only beginning. The moment Blueface's camp made their unexpected move, the entire internet felt the temperature spike like someone flipped the thermostat to maximum destruction. Instead of addressing the Auntie's rant directly, instead of clarifying anything, instead of calming the storm, they posted an exclusive behind-the-scenes explanation that answered absolutely nothing while throwing 10 new accusations into the wind. It was equal parts confusing, petty, and dramatic, the digital equivalent of tossing a lit match into a room full of fireworks. Fans didn't know whether to laugh, scream, or grab helmets. Celebrities began reacting instantly because nothing activates Hollywood faster than a family feud going viral. One rapper tweeted, "Folks love chaos more than kids," which fans immediately tied to Blueface. A reality star commented under a blog post with a very pointed, sending the internet into a frenzy. Even a basketball player joined in, writing, "Some people need to stop speaking on kids and start stepping up. That comment alone sparked thousands of quote tweets accusing, defending, speculating, and dragging. It felt like a celebrity Hunger Games where everyone wanted to take a shot, but the most chaotic reactions came from influencers who treated the situation like an emergency live stream event. They popped up on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram Live, giving exaggerated breakdowns with dramatic reenactments, outfits, and facial expressions that looked like they trained at the Zeus Academy of Overacting. One influencer held up printed screenshots like evidence in a courtroom, while another played every leaked voice note on slow motion as if that would clarify anything. Fans laughed, cried, argued, and begged for more details, even though none of the analysis brought them closer to the truth. And then came the memes, thousands of them, dropping faster than rain in monsoon season. Memes comparing the families to WWE tag teams. Memes placing Auntie in a boxing ring knocking out Blueface in round 1. Memes screenshotting Chrisean's calm face and captioning it. When you leave the chat, but the chat doesn't leave you. One meme in particular went viral, showing Junior as Simba from Lion King while everyone else argued around him like hyenas. The entire internet turned serious drama into animated comedy within hours, proving once again that memes are undefeated. However, deeper contradictions started surfacing, and they hit harder than any meme ever could. Blueface's story didn't match his family's story. His family's story didn't match Ronny Doe's Auntie's claims. The Auntie's claims didn't align with Chrisean's quiet boundary setting. Fans pointed out timeline issues, tone mismatches, deleted comments, and mysterious edits in screenshots. Some accused Blueface of rewriting events. Others accused Chrisean of holding back major info. And a few insisted the Auntie was the only one being fully transparent. The internet split into factions, each one convinced they understood the truth. Then things escalated when someone close to Chrisean posted a cryptic message saying, "A lot of lies being thrown around." We got proof though. The word proof detonated every platform instantly. People started demanding receipts. Blogs began drafting headlines. Meme pages sharpened their captions like swords. The entire internet began anticipating a digital nuclear bomb drop, expecting screenshots, voice notes, or text threads that would vaporize someone's credibility. The tension became unbearable, dramatic, suffocating, and addictive. But just as fans prepared for Chrisean's side to clap back with evidence, Ronny Doe's Auntie popped up again with a part 2 to her original rant. And this time, she wasn't emotional, she was strategic. She spoke slowly, clearly, naming behaviors without naming names, pointing out contradictions without revealing specifics, and calling out grown men who pretend to be victims online. Her tone was so sharp it could cut glass. She wasn't yelling, she was dissecting. And the internet devoured every second of it. Blueface's response? A single laughing emoji. Just one. And somehow that single emoji created a bigger explosion than a paragraph-long essay ever could. Fans called it disrespectful. Others called it unserious. Some claimed he was deflecting from guilt. Others said he was refusing to be dragged by anti-energy. Entire comment sections were dedicated to interpreting that one emoji like it was coded language from an alien planet. And when his mother chimed in with a shady, "Oh, here we go again," the flames doubled up. Meanwhile, Nivea's name began creeping into the conversation unexpectedly. A resurfaced clip from weeks earlier showed her mentioning people using kids to get attention, and fans immediately connected it to the current drama. Whether it was related or not didn't matter. The internet decided it was part of the story now. Her supporters defended her fiercely, while critics accused her of stirring the pot long before Auntie stepped in. Blogs labeled it a key puzzle piece, even though nobody knew if it was relevant. At the same time, JR's name became a trending topic, and fans grew increasingly frustrated that a child was at the center of so much chaos. Multiple celebrities posted messages reminding everyone to focus on the child, not the feud. Some sided with Chrisean's decision to set boundaries. Others claimed Blueface was provoking drama for attention. And a few insisted Ronny Doe's family needed to stay united instead of feeding the internet storyline. It turned into a morality war where everyone believed they held the ethical high ground. But the biggest plot twist came when a brand new account, clearly connected to one of the families based on phrasing and tone, posted a lengthy message claiming the real issue wasn't about JR at all, but something that happened offline that nobody has addressed publicly. This revelation hit the internet like a slap. It reframed the entire drama into something deeper, more emotional, and possibly more damaging than fans originally assumed. Suddenly, every reaction, every rant, every boundary, every shady post looked different. The world realized they weren't watching a simple disagreement. They were witnessing the eruption of something long buried, something layered, something painful, and just when the internet leaned in for answers, the mysterious account ended its message with, "Someone else is about to speak." And when they do, everything changes. The cliffhanger sent shockwaves across every platform. Nobody knew who was about to talk, but everyone knew the next voice could rewrite the entire saga. The moment that mysterious account announced someone else is about to speak, the entire internet felt the shift like a sudden drop on a roller coaster. Comment sections froze, group chats screamed in panic, and fans everywhere braced themselves for the chaos they knew was coming. People weren't just waiting for a response, they were waiting for a revelation, something big enough to overturn every theory, every leak, every rant that had shaped the feud so far. The tension felt suffocating, heavy, and strangely quiet, the kind of calm that only arrives right before a storm tears the sky open. Behind the scenes, the emotional fallout was unraveling fast. People close to Chrisean whispered about how exhausted she was, how boundaries weren't just a public statement, but a survival mechanism. Meanwhile, Ronny Doe's family, especially the Auntie, doubled down privately, insisting they wouldn't stand by while narratives twisted Jai's situation into entertainment. And then there was Blueface's camp, scrambling, shifting, posting, deleting, reacting without reacting, a chaos machine trying to convince the world they were unfazed when every sign suggested the opposite. All three sides were hurting in different ways, and the internet could feel the cracks widening. Fans started expressing a new kind of frustration, not just anger, not just confusion, but genuine sadness. They'd watched these intertwined stories unfold for months, sometimes laughing, sometimes judging, sometimes cheering for growth. But this feud hit differently. JR's name being dragged around made everything heavier. People began calling for peace, accountability, or at the very least, silence until clarity emerged. Yet silence is something the internet refuses to allow. Every hour brought a new rumor, a new clip, a new source, keeping the storm raging even as everyone involved seemed desperate for a moment of stillness. And then the leaks resumed, because of course they did. A screenshot surfaced showing someone from Blueface's circle complaining privately about the lies spreading too fast to control. Another leak suggested Chrisean had been setting boundaries far longer than fans realized and had simply reached her breaking point. A third leak, allegedly from someone in Ronny Doe's extended family, claimed this feud wasn't even about Junior originally but about a deeper family issue that accidentally dragged him into the spotlight. Each leak contradicted the last, leaving fans trapped in an emotional maze with no exit. Meanwhile, blogs pumped out headlines faster than people could read them. Some framed Chrisean as a mother trying to protect her peace. Others cast Blueface as a reckless instigator. A few spun Auntie as the unexpected truth-teller of the century. The narratives clashed violently, and the fandoms clashed even harder. People were unfollowing each other over opinions, blocking strangers, and arguing like their lives depended on defending someone they'd never met. The internet wasn't just watching drama, it was becoming the drama. But the emotional unraveling didn't stop there. In a quiet live stream with no warning, Nivea appeared unexpectedly, speaking gently yet firmly about the situation. She didn't take sides, didn't throw shade, didn't point fingers. She simply expressed heartbreak that a child was caught in so much mess and urged everyone to let the families breathe. Her message was real, raw, and surprisingly grounding. For a brief moment, the internet slowed, softened, and remembered the humanity behind the headlines. But peace never lasts long when chaos is trending, because moments later, Blueface responded, and his silence-breaking message was the opposite of soft. It was defensive, dismissive, and dripping with deflection. Fans immediately accused him of ignoring accountability again. His supporters defended him fiercely. His critics sharpened their comments like daggers. Within minutes, Nivea's calm energy was buried under a flood of new arguments, new distractions, new fuel for a fire that refused to die. And through it all, Chrisean stayed quiet, which somehow made everyone even louder. Then came the emotional twist nobody saw coming. Ronny Doe's Auntie posted a short video. Not dragging, not yelling, but looking deeply hurt. She said she never intended to create a war, she only wanted to defend a child caught between adults who weren't handling things privately. Her voice trembled at moments, and fans who once treated her like a comedic icon suddenly saw the trauma beneath the tone. People in the comments apologized. Others encouraged her. A few admitted they misunderstood her intentions from the start. But just as the internet began to breathe again, just as it seemed the conflict was turning into reflection rather than reaction, the mysterious account returned with a long-awaited update. And this time, the message wasn't cryptic. It wasn't vague. It wasn't threatening. It was a name, a single name, a name nobody expected, nobody predicted. Nobody even considered a part of this feud. Someone connected to all sides, quietly, deeply, privately, and now stepping forward to speak publicly. A person with first-hand knowledge, a person with receipts, a person whose involvement rewrites the entire storyline. The message read, "Tomorrow, the one who knows everything speaks." And the truth will shock all three families. And if your heart is still beating after that level of chaos, consider yourself a survivor of yet another digital earthquake delivered straight from the drama gods. Earthquake delivered straight from the drama gods.